in Indian context, both the topics are interdependent. In the previous secretary as well as religion and economic and civilization. And in case you know the literature, for example, in your first year you have studied sociological theory and you have been taught about Marx, Weber, and Heim. But there are many issues which were not taught, not only in AU or India, the world over. Now the question is why? It is also enterprise, academic enterprise. And what does it mean? It means that there is democracy. Now, so-called laborers or job agents and in Marxist term, the lumpen proletariat have got political verdict to share the same close the door, to share the same academic space shared by the children of elite. I know some of you must have studied sociology of education and optional course, but the teacher is too good as a human being. You know, there are in every society there are certain jobs which are delegated to people who can do dirty work, सफाई कर्मचारी. I have voluntarily accepted this role in academia. I am the safai karmachari of ignorance. Therefore, academically I may be right, but politically and economically I am always wrong, and I invite. Now the question is why? There are two reasons. One, European sociology claims at one end that it is universal. But it has never tried to be universal. They said, this is me, this is my science, made up of my categories. And I say this is universal and you have to accept it. Now you have no choice because since your childhood you have been taught that this is right, this is wrong. When sociology emerged as a science, not with Durkheim, Marx and Weber, they are the fruits, they are not the seeds of sociology. All the major categories were already there. Durkheim is the father of so-called modern science of sociology. What does it mean? When the rules of sociological method was written, when his last book came in, 1912, Element Informs, 1912 is modern. 1890 is modern. Then what is before that? Ambiguity, complete silence. In the same way, they say economic enterprise, and then they equate it with profit making. And then they say the profit has to be in terms of money. Now, what is this? Not even nonsense. This is rape with the science and the language of society. You cannot equate economic enterprise with profit and money making. There can be, I am also making economic enterprise, but I am not getting money. I am not getting even fame. I am not getting even praise. But is it not economic enterprise? What is economic enterprise? In the same way, what is religion and what is not religion? At one point, you agree that science said religion is equal to society. At the other time, you are ready to engage only with fundamentalism. Only fundamentalism is religion for you. And the counterpart is secularism. Both are bogus concepts. It is specific to, it is relative to space, time, and situation. What is happening in India? In the name of religion, there is political exploitation of religion or economic exploitation of religion. Unless and until you try to understand the religion, you will remain a buyer. You will remain a consumer, political consumer and economic consumer. They will tell you something in the name of religion or in the name of science, you will accept it and there will be war. And war is not, based only in terms of atom bomb or, pistol or rifles or tanks. War is also based through words, languages, demagoguery. For example, take the book Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism. Now, when the English translation was made available to you in 1921, and you think that this is the thesis, you have to begin economic sociology or you have to understand economic enterprise and religion with paper. Why? Why? Because it is the first book in the English language. No. The first systematic sociological book about religious aspect of the economic behavior or economic aspect of the religious behavior was written systematically by a man who is in two pronunciations, Jombard or Sombard. He wrote the book in 1911. And Weber is a response, Weber is a reaction to Jombard. Weber is antithesis, and he is taught as thesis. Now, in my opinion, Jombard should be taught with Veblen and Pareto as primary sociologist of the global village. But this is your last semester and you will not be allowed to sit for MPhil entrance test. Therefore, I am trying to make your situation meaningful, that it is not a bad situation, that you are not allowed to sit in your mother's lap. Go away like Marx went from Germany to France. Go away like Muhammad from from Makkah to Medina. Go away like Lord Krishna. Why you underestimate yourself? Maybe your this banishment from JNU is a boon in disguise. And I am reading from Jombard 1911, and I have made this note in few hours, yesterday night and today. I am reading out what Jombard said in 1911, and then you remember what Weber wrote in 1921. Jombard says the name of the book is The Jews and Modern Capitalism. The Jews and Modern Capitalism. There are basically three major theses which I will try to underline, and then we will discuss it. His first thesis is that the spirit of capitalism is rooted in Judaism and not in Protestant ethics. The first thesis of Jombard, he said Jombard and Sombard both, the spelling is Sombart. And the book was written in 1911, Jews and Modern Capitalism. And basically he had, proposed many theses, but three is important to understand the Indian situation. Number one, the spirit of capitalism is rooted in Judaism and not in Protestantism. Number two, what is called Protestantism or Puritanism by people like Max Weber is in reality Judaism. He had not said Puritanism by Weber. This is my insertion. His thesis is what is called Protestantism is in reality Judaism. Just to make your task clearer and simpler, I am saying what Weber writes or says or communicates to you as Puritanism is a Calvinist version of Protestantism. What he is trying to say, Jombard is trying to say that although Protestant movement is regarded as a reformation of the Catholic Church, that is the Christian religion, but the imperative, the insight, the root, the finance came from Judaism. What does it mean? Try to understand nearer you in India. Something may look Hindu or Muslim or Sikh or Christian, but who is financing it? How many people of the so-called religious community are supporting it? And is there some sort of hijacking? Unless and until you are ready to appreciate Jombard, you will not be able to understand how the political or economic use of religion in India has become smooth. We are colonized enough to not doubt the hard fact before us. There is a proverb in Hindi, Kaua kaan liye ja raha hai. Kaua, that is crow, kaan, that is ear. Somebody is saying, your ear is being taken by the crow, and you start watching the crow. An Indian idiot would say, an Indian idiot like me or Kabir or anybody, Gandhi will say, see your ear whether it is intact or not. Are you getting the point? I am trying to request you from the very beginning, read, read, and read, but always read by contextualizing the text in your empirical context. I am not saying theory versus fieldwork. I am saying theory is always local in origin. And I am saying that your local experience can be universalized, even the favorable condition. Therefore, try to balance the theory with empirical facts and try to test the empirical facts under the light of theory. There should be a dialectical relationship between the field work and the theoretical work. There should be a dialectical relationship between the two theories. Only then you will be able to stand on your feet. Now, what Lombard said? Lombard says that what is called Protestantism is in reality Judaism. Although it is not accepted as such. Why? Because it is not taught in the college. Since it is not taught in the college, the school teachers will not teach. Since the school teachers will not teach, therefore, when the mother will rear the child, she will not teach her children. Therefore, what they have done to you in India, your grandfathers or great grandfathers were told, don't teach religion in schools and colleges. It is ugly, this is dirty. Why? Because only in the atmosphere of ignorance that they will play the politics of religion or they will operationalize the economics of religion. Ignorance is a must. Therefore, never support or reject something only on the basis of hearsay. Try to understand it before you reject or accept it. It is not that only Lombard was saying this. This was what the Pope said in 16th century, but people did not believe. When Luther revolted against the Pope said, it is not a reform of movement. This is something else. Now the man was, facing charge of corruption. What type of corruption? No corruption against him as a person. His ministry, ministry is a religious term. It is not a political term. Much before democracy came in anywhere in the world, the term ministry was used in the Christian church. Ministry means religious officials associated with the Pope. The religious bureaucracy. Luther had made the charge against the religious bureaucracy, the ministry of the Pope, not against the Pope himself. Are you getting the point? But nobody listened to him. Now we will see in India also, there are situations when 99 people are saying in chorus, in loud voices, that this is wrong. And one person, a frail person like Gandhi, is saying something. Nobody will listen. What is the use of religion for a common man. Religion is the last source of hope. It is heart of the heartless. It is hope of the hopeless. This is the painkiller of a man crying with pain. And the last sentence is, this is the opium of the masses. This was from Marx. And I am not a Marxist. The language of Max Weber is very familiar to us because from childhood, we Indians, irrespective of our religious affiliation, read Ramcharitmanas. Max Weber, Benjamin Franklin, and those in India who have become the prophet of development, they talk in the language of Ram. They wanted to create Sone Ki Lanka. There is no economic critique of it. There was no critique of this ideology when Stalin was alive, when Castro was alive, when Mao was alive. There was only religious. And what was the critique? Economic enterprise cannot be equated only with profit making of a company, a party, and an individual. A better term is Purusarth. This is not an concept. This is an Indian concept. Dharma, Arth, Kam, Moksha in English. Moral order is Dharma. Ethical order is Dharma. Moral consensus is Dharma. Ethical foundation is Dharma. What is Dharma? Earth in English is translated as economic enterprise. But in Sanskrit it means, in Pali it means, earth means anything which sustains life on earth. That is earth. Therefore, Kautilya's Arthashastra is not only a book about economics, it is also about politics. It is also about diplomacy. It is also about military strategy. The same is true about Confucius' book called Ethics. Then Kam. There is a book called Kam Shastra by Vatsaya. And some people like Wendy Donier, they translate it as a book of sex. Actually, Kam in English is desire of any type. And even sex is not only, physical intercourse of one organ and another organ. But they are teaching Sigmund Freud as if it is a Bible or the Quran or the Vedas. Nobody is interrogating whether Freud's primordial premise is cultural neutral, truly universal, or it is rooted in a particular instinct group which had been practicing group sex. And my reference is Frederick Engel's Origin of Family, Private Property in the State, Louis Henry Morgan, Ancient Society, Westermarck, History of Marriage. Therefore, what I am trying to do here is that I am trying to give you a model. Tomorrow will be my last class, and this is your last semester, at least for 2 years. then there will be some vacancy, and some of you may smuggle in as PhD students by doing MPhil from somewhere else. Actually, I have tried to uh, give a model of economic behavior in India. You must have heard about Varna, and they told you that it has to do something with caste. Bete said no. Srinivas said no. Baba Sahib Ambedkar said no. Nandu Ram said no. Surinder Singh Notka also said no. Because castes are more than 5,000, according to Sarad Yadav, one of the senior leaders of India. There are more than 1 lakh castes in India. But Varnas are only 4 or 5. What are Varnas? These are conceptual classifications. This is functional division of society. It is to some extent comparable with class but not with caste, because classes are 3 or 5. Classes are 2 according to Marx, 3 by Weber, and 5 according to Lloyd Warner. I do not know whether you have been taught in a certification of Lloyd Warner or not. In the same way, there are 4 Varnas in India, but there is a 5th also. The 5th Varna was highlighted for the first time in India by Baba Sahib Ambedkar and then by the historian R.S. Sharma, a Marxist historian R.S. Sharma, that there was a Pancham which included the Dalits of today. Dalits are not Sudras. Dalits are not Sudras. But according to the Varna schema, there are 4 Varnas. And what are these? These are vocations, not professions. These are vocations. These are callings. These are occupational cultures. And it has been studied long ago. But they are diplomats. They are very sophisticated intellectuals. You know, in India there are 3 margas. Jnana marg, the path of knowledge. Then Karma marg, the path of action. And Bhakti marg, the path of devotion. I fall in the 3rd category. I never claimed that I am a jnani, a knowledgeable person. But then they say, you have the maximum number of books in your house and your office. I say, it is a book shop. It is a book shop. It is for everybody. It is not only for me, because I do not possess it. I never wrote it. I am a bhakt. Bhakt means I am ready to take anybody for granted. You know, there are 2 criteria. One is, there are 2 polar opposites. One is René Descartes and the other is. Now you can say you are a great man and you are a pygmy man, yes. But don't go by my physical stature. He said, René Descartes said, never accept anything. You doubt, theory of doubt. Never accept anything, anybody, any idea, any book, any feeling, unless and until you reach that corner where there is no further possibility of doubt. And what is our motto, our theory, our stance? And this is a Buddhist stance. Although I know, but I have no right. It was an Indian stance. But we are the only foolish people who are still preserving it. Others, for money, for profit, for political convenience, they have discarded. What is this? India believes never doubt anybody. Never doubt anybody in the beginning. Accept it. Somebody is a thief. You know that he is a thief because people have seen him stealing feelings, money, power for thousands of times, but still not doubt. There is a story in Jatak. There was a person called Angulimal. There was a person who used to cut the thumb of the hand. And he had cut 99 fingers. And he was putting 99 in the garland. It was in the neck. And he was coming. Whenever he was coming, everybody was fearful. Then one day, Angulimal saw that Buddha is coming. He is dead. Buddha was smiling. And he was just walking. It was for the first time that Angulimal experienced such a person who was not fearful. He was not fearful, although there was a katar, dagger in his hand. And blood was flowing from the fingers, which was put in his garland. And Buddha was just walking fearlessly, of course, seeing in his eyes. When he went straight to him, Angulimal was so fearful that he just bowed in the feet of the Buddha. We come from that tradition. But this is not the only tradition. There are variants of this. There was a man in Delhi during the time of Aurangzeb. His name was Sarman. There is a bazaar opposite Lal Killa. Everybody was fearful of Aurangzeb. Somebody asked Sarman, do you think he is a villain? He said, no, he is not a villain. He is just an ignorant person. Sometimes he destroyed temples. On the other time, he gives grants and erects temples. Aurangzeb had financed 113 Hindu and Jain temples. People asked Sharma, what is wrong with him? He said he thinks that the Allah resides only in the mosque or the temple. Allah is everywhere. There is no need of a mosque or a temple. Because the very body is a temple. And Allah resides here. That is Anahat chapter 4. As history said, he was killed. But they also say he was not fearful when he was being killed. Now why? The same is true, and we celebrate it in the form of Muharram. The children of Ali and even Ali, the fourth Pagambar, they were killed. The same killing took place in Gandhi's case. Gandhi was also killed. Now the question is, why other cultures are terrified by death and Indians are not? There are two reasons. One is cultural and the other is religious. For the non-Semitic religions of India, that is so-called Hindu, which are primarily of three types, I shared with you: Vaishnavites, Saivites, and the Siddharthas. For the Buddhists, who are also of three types: Mahayani, Asthavirvadi, and Vajrayani, and the Jains, who are again of three types: Shvetambar, Digambar, and Sthanakvasi. And for the Sikhs, they are also of three types: Diyakali, Sahajdhari, and Nirankari. There is a concept of rebirth. There is a concept of rebirth. And what is the concept of rebirth? Very interesting. That nobody can kill. The mighty king or the chief minister or the prime minister may behead your body. But in case you have done good karma or bad karma, then to bear the fruit of your karma, good or bad, you have to take rebirth. And very interesting. Where you take rebirth? Suppose somebody has tormented you and made you die. Then you take rebirth in his family as a son. Now the son may be adopted or biological. See what Atal Bihari Vajpayee was done by Lal Krishna Advani. Lal Krishna Advani was the personal assistant or private secretary of Atal Bihari Vajpayee until 1974. Then by hook or crook, Advani was able to marginalize Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Now what is theory of karma? He patronized a person called Narendra Modi. He was like his son. Advani was the son of Vajpayee. Vajpayee was marginalized by his adopted son Advani. And Advani is being marginalized by Narendra Modi. And Narendra Modi will be marginalized either by Amit Shah or this yogi. Why you talk only about Aurangzeb and Dara? Why you only talk about anybody else? Cornwallis or Wellesley. In any society at any time, there will be two types of people. One whose goal is to further one's personal ambition, and the other who is interested in furthering the interest of every member or the majority members of the community or society. And for this, you need economic endeavor. To sustain anything, to sustain change, to sustain your body, to sustain your society, to sustain your religious organization, to sustain your military establishment, to sustain anything on earth, even the tree, you need recharging of energy. In case you have a car or a scooter, you have to refuel it again and again. In case you have to maintain your body, you have to eat 2, 3 times, sometimes more, sometimes less. Now, it is not necessary that it will be mediated by money. It may be mediated by barter system, or it may be mediated by the communist ideology during Stalin or Mao, rationing. Market or money is not universal in history. Therefore, economic endeavor should be understood universally as your efforts in any direction which produces tangible, recognizable goods. Therefore, if there is a sense, even yoga produces material things. Therefore, everything is economic. In case you are acting, you are social actor in a human body or animal body. But there can be two directions. One for your individual goal and the other for the social goal. But the social may be of 5 types. It may be a group around blood. It may be a group around marriage alliance. It may be a group around a deity. It may be a group around a doctrine, religious, political, scientific, or it may be a group around a region, a geography. To the best of my knowledge, in India, the fifth geography is the foundation of collective India. It is not that you are attached to your land where you are born or reared, but because Indians from the very beginning, irrespective of their mode of worship, consider body, consider human body as earth. When somebody died in any religion, they say ये शरीर मिट्टी का हो गया. Khak means मिट्टी, earth. Therefore, in Semitic religions, the dead body is khak, and therefore there will be supurde khak. It will be put in the grave so that it becomes earth. Among the non-Semitic people, majority of Hindus, but adults, not politically or physically, but ritually, are not engraved. They are not done supurde khak, rather they are burned. But there is a rule. But is the rule that only married people are burned? Those who are unmarried, for example, sannyasis, renunciators, they are not married, they are not burnt. Unmarried daughters and children are not burnt. They are done supurte kham, according to the religious manuals. Therefore, those who think that Hindus and Muslims are very different because one does supurte khak and the other does, there was a person who was saying Kabristan or Asmasan. He doesn't know the meaning of Kabristan and Asmasan. It is not that different. There are many Hindus in Karnataka who will still does the supurte khak ritual. It is due to modernization, westernization and Sanskritization that rituals were universalized. For example, there is a rule in the so-called Hindu society. I am saying so-called, not because of disrespect, but because of respect. Because I am not sure you are a Vaishnavite, you are a Saivite, you are a Smarta, or you are a neo-Hindu. The rule was that in case somebody has done out of snake bite, the person will be neither engraved in the earth nor burnt in the fire. Rather, it will be thrown in the running water. Therefore, there have been different rules of disposing of the human body. And there are different specialists. For example, there is a Hindu of high caste. And somebody has died in the family. He will take the body to a more sacred smashan. For example, Kashi, Varanasi. In India, until Narendra Modi contested from Varanasi, there was a joke. Now everybody is fearful, therefore this joke is not tracked. The joke was, लोग मरने के लिए बनारस जाते हैं. And everybody knows that there was a person called Kabir. He spent his whole life in Kashi or Banaras, but when he was about to die, he went to a nearby place called Marga. What does it mean? There are different ways of doing human effort, and everybody wants something. In the modern West, they want money at any cost or power at any cost. What is desired in India? What is the kamana, desire, kam? And what is the earth? Indians want not wealth but prosperity. And what is the Hindi term or Urdu term for prosperity? Pardon?
Samriddhi.
What is samriddhi? There are two things. There is called samas and sandhi. Samriddhi is not, there are two root terms of samriddhi. One is sam, that is barabar, equal, proportionate. And vriddhi means growth. Proportionate growth is samriddhi. Balanced growth is samriddhi. Otherwise, it is cancer. Unproportionate growth is cancer. Anybody knows what is the religion of Amit Shah? the president of All India president or international president or the cosmic president of the Bharatiya Janata Party, anybody knows the religion? Jain. But had he ever said that he is a Jain? Had he said, I am a Jain, no Yadava would have voted for him. No Dalit would have voted for him. No Brahmin would have voted for him. Had he ever claimed what he eats when he is alone? What is his favorite menu item? Amit Shah can prosper only because of places like Jain, where there is a taboo to discuss religion. Had there been no Ramjas, there would have been no Yogi. Whenever India is about to throw them, there are some people who will give them petrol and matches. कैसे फाइटर हो यार? वो आग से खेल रहा है और तुम आग को समझना ही नहीं चाहते. The question is that most BJP leaders are not Hindus. They do not know their Dharma Granthas. They do not know their sacred text. And those who understand, they are marginalized. It is not that there have been no Muslim leaders in the Jan Sangh or the Bharatiya Janata Party. It is not a question of religion or politics. It is a question of economics. What does it mean? It means two things. Please remember, you like or not, there have been three revolutions according to the Indian philosophy of history. The first revolution was the Brahmin revolution, and the product was the Vedic age. The second was the Kshatriya revolution, and third is the Vaishya revolution. Modernity is Vaishya revolution. What does it mean? In Brahmin revolution, the knowledgeable people, the experts, were the supreme leaders of society. In the Kshatriya revolutions, the kings and emperors, the political leaders became the supreme authority. In the Vaishya revolutions, the merchants, the business people, the corporates became the supreme leaders. Therefore, what are the terms for Marx? Primitive communism, ancient society, Asiatic mode of production, feudal society, capitalist society. According to Indian philosophy of history, Buddhist history, Jain, Sufi, there are three revolutions. Brahmin revolution, Kshatriya revolution, Vaishya revolution. In case you hate Sanskrit, then the revolution produced by the experts, revolution produced by the political leaders, and the revolution produced by the merchants. What is modernity? When the Vaishyas became sovereign, when they dictate who should rule, when they dictate what will be taught in the university or how the ritual will be offered in the temple, it is called Vaishya revolution or modernity. And what is the origin of it? The origin of it in Europe is Judaism. Modernity is the Jewish ideology. And modernity in India is Baniya ideology or the Jain ideology. Therefore, I am giving you this. A or 1. Vaishyas, Jains, Zoroastrians, Cholas in South India, Marwari Vaisyas of Rajasthani diaspora, Akali Sikhs. They are like Jews and Protestants of Europe, big business enterprises, transnational, global. Motto: maximum risk, maximum gain. Should I repeat or go to the second? Vaisyas are the sui generis sacred people. Vaisyas are sacred. Economy will be never discussed threadbare in parliament. All the stupid things will be discussed, but not paradigmatic change in economic law, mercantile law, because that is the Bible. You cannot review the Vedas, you cannot review the Quran, you cannot review the Bible in the same way you cannot review the mercantile law. Economy is a taboo. Cow is not a taboo. I will be very happy in case BJP accepts cow as taboo and economy as profane, which can be discussed in this class. Actually, they are not saving cow, my dear friends. What they are doing, they are shifting the leather industry. Go and check their cars. The seats are made of leather. Go and check the purse of their wives and daughters. It is made up of leather. Go and check whether their wives and mothers and sisters and daughters use lipsticks or not. It is made up of cow. Do you think that by one stroke they will change the habit? Leather is a very important component in late modernity, late capitalism, like iron was in early industrial revolution. Leather is a status symbol. Therefore, cow is not the issue. The skin of the cow is the issue. Indians will not process. They will be dispossessed of their employment. But where the dead animal will go? Will they ensure that it will not be killed and they will not die? Will they are what they can do this? That from today no cow will die. Now where the skin will go, where it will be processed, and from where your purses and car belts will come. What they did, demonetization. Paytm has come. Who owns Paytm? Chinese company. This is a good nationalism idea. There is strange politics in India. In the name of religion, They will promote economics. In the name of economics, they will promote it. This is not possible in world Vyavastha. This is possible in class system. What is wrong in world Vyavastha? That at the same time, you cannot be a Brahmin in case you are a Vaisya. You cannot be a Kshatriya in case you are a Vaisya. And as Buddha said, Varna was never practiced on the basis of birth. Varna means elite. Brahmin, Kshatriya and Vaisya, they are not born, they are made. As Simo Dibuo said in the second sex, woman is not born, she is made. Unless, then genetics engineering was not developed. But today, you people can be made into a beautiful woman and she can be made into a beautiful man. We Indians recognized from the very beginning when he said, when Kundalini is aroused in a woman, she becomes Kali, the ferocious male. And when the Kundalini is aroused in Vishnu, she becomes the beautiful Mohini. You are not students. I am not talking about you in person, I am talking about you as Indians since Macaulay Mutiny, 1835. You are no more students, you are consumers of Western city. And you think you are knowledgeable. You have degrees, no understanding to enrich your life, empower your body, or enjoy your senses. And my request is, don't apply them. Wastage of time. Work for 2 years, anywhere you like. Empower your chakras, the 7 chakras. Destroy the bad people on earth and create a human.